Hi friends, Victor Costa, peace, love, and muscles. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having an outstanding day. Today I wanted to share with you some ideas that I've written down on a note card about what I would do differently if I had to start over again with respect to my own fitness and bodybuilding. Oddly enough, you can start these things today, even if you're a seasoned athlete or even if you're a seasoned bodybuilder, you can start on this today. So this applies to really just about everyone, but I started to write it with the idea that if I had to start all over again and give advice, what advice would I give if I had to start over? So here we are. The first thing is I would recognize the importance of nutrition. Now, in the beginning, I didn't. I really didn't think that that was necessary for me. I thought maybe that is something for other people who don't have the same talent for this or the same interest or are not willing to work as hard, never really honoring the idea that nutrition is so important, so vastly important, that it really is the primary component of bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is really three things, in my opinion. It is the nutrition you get, the rest you get, and the language you use when you talk to yourself. Those are the three components of bodybuilding. The actual lifting of weights and all that other stuff is recreation as far as I'm concerned. So I would go back and focus on my nutrition. I would spend more energy, not trying to push myself so super hard, but really recognizing the value of nutrition, paying more attention to it, having my fruits, having my vegetables, paying attention to the micronutrients. Because remember, micronutrients are what you see up close. The macros are kind of what you see from a distance. So I would fortify my body with an excellent nutritional plan. I would seek advice from somebody who knew what they were doing. And again, the program that I would create would be to focus on my health. Not to be nourished for a bodybuilder, I would focus on health because a healthy body heals, and bodybuilding is really more about healing than it is about stress, in my opinion. The second thing is I would enjoy the phases along the way. I wouldn't just complain about my body till it got to a certain point. I would recognize that this is a process, and I wouldn't continuously just berate myself about where I wasn't. Remember, when you look in the mirror, sometimes, you get a sense of where you've been, not so much where you're going. The mirror is really not a good tool, in my opinion. It tells you your history rather than where you're going to go. So where you're going to go is really more about here than what's in the mirror. So I would enjoy the phases along the way and recognize that bodybuilding is a lifetime thing. It's a process, especially when you're doing it naturally. I would pace myself. I wouldn't act like every day is the end of the world. I would recognize that this is a long haul and that I'm working with not only muscles, but joints, tendons, humors, all of that, and an energy source that can't be depleted so early. In other words, I believe that you have this energy pack that lasts you, and you have to figure out how to deploy it over the course of your life. So you don't want to really go all out too early because your flame kind of fizzles out. I recognize that, and that is something that I would retell myself, to pace myself. Again, the nutrition is really valuable because it gives you the energy to kind of go that extra mile, but I would continue to focus on pacing myself, recognizing that I am flesh and blood and I'm not a mechanical tool. The next thing is I would try to see the larger picture. I would try to see how this is going to work into my life. I would try to figure out not so much, hey, I have to get this big by this date, or this is when spring break is, or whatever. I would see the larger picture of sort of how I wanted my lifestyle to be over the course of time, not so much to be prepared for a specific date. Let's see, I would spend less time in doubt. I would really be more in the idea of it's on the way rather than doubting myself and having to prove to myself over and over and over. See, the way I train people now is I help them see things before they're there. Rather than, how some people have to see it before they believe it. I believe you have to see it, believe it before you see it. And then that's the shift. So you have to believe it before you see it. So I would spend less time in doubt. And I would stop saying, is it going to happen for me? Because, just that doubt is just really hurtful. It makes you actually work harder when things aren't happening, taking more energy away from you and depleting your life force, your energy source. I wouldn't push my body to the limits every time I went into the gym. That's just makes a lot of sense. You can only dig so deep into that well before you hit dirt. And I would enjoy more relationships along the way. I would have taken a little bit more time to kind of get to know the people that you're in there with. I mean, when you think about it, you spend sometimes more time with the people that you're in the gym with than you spend with your spouse. I know people who spend more time in the gym than they spend with their children. So I would probably try to, enjoy more of those relationships, connect with people a little bit more, take some time aside to kind of recognize the people that you're sort of doing in battle with, so to speak. Let's see. I would take more days off. I'd chill out on myself. I wouldn't come, from a flight from vacation and try to figure out which gym in town is the one that's open 24 hours, pay $20 and train at like 3 a.m. like I used to do. I would just kind of chill out. I would definitely take more days off. And that comes from not believing it's going to happen, having to have that urgency. You guys heard Romeo barking in the next room. And the last is I wouldn't compare myself to others, right? This is a personal journey. Everybody's bringing with them their genetics, their history, the things that they are inclined to do, the amount of time they have to train, their diseases, their injuries, their all of that, right? And so when you take a look at someone and you compare yourself to them, you would have had to have had the same life, the same history, the same parents. I wouldn't compare myself to other people. And so that's it, guys. I would just chill out, right? A little bit. And all of this, as you can see, has nothing to do with working harder. That generally is built into people who are sort of organized toward this kind of thing. In most of the time when I train people, it's about pulling them back and teaching them how to really heal rather than how they can beat themselves up a little bit more with an extra set of this or that. So anyway, I wish you guys all the best and good health, peace, love, and muscles. I hope you enjoyed the video. Below, there is a link to my training programs and also my natural bodybuilding test that I would love for you to check out. I wish you guys all the best and good health. Peace, love, and muscles. Please take care. Click the link below in the description. Bye.